you need your stars to step up, and Deja Kelly certainly is a star for UNC.
Well, and as Deja Kelly goes offensively, it seems like the Tar Heels follow. When she is able to get up and down and convert, everything starts clicking. The defense, the offense. Today it's huge for Deja Kelly to be on point.
And you know who the star is for Virginia Tech is Liz Kitley.
Well, Hokie fans want to see Liz Kitley down low today, getting touches and then just going to work. One of the best post players in the country. Why? Tremendous footwork, can create her own shot, and Eric, a tremendous defender and rim protector as well.
29 blocks for Kitley. That's good for second in the ACC. As I mentioned, great crowd turning out here on New Year's Day, and we are underway here at Cassell Coliseum. Virginia Tech in the home white with the first possession, and away we go between the Hokies and the Tar Heels.
And Eric, pace in this game is so important. The Hokies want a half-court game. We know UNC wants to get up and down.
Hokies can shoot the three. They don't make it three right here, and an early foul as Taylor Soule was going for the rebound. Both these teams, you get the sense that their coaches want to see a different level of toughness in this game compared to what they did in their prior games.
Yeah, both head coaches said didn't like our toughness and how we responded on Thursday night. I think they're both eager to see the growth of their team here this afternoon.
Fouls on Hodgson. Hodgson at first. Here's Kitley inside. No, defended well by Anya Poole. North Carolina starting five. Alyssa Usby does it all, leading rebounder, fourth in the ACC in that category. Kennedy Todd Williams has gone for 20 or more 3 times this season. Eva Hodgson, who picked up the early foul, 47% on threes on the season. And Kelly is the leading scorer. She went for 20 against Florida State, which was a loss for Carolina. Kayla King picks up the foul, and here is Kelly. What will Virginia Tech look to do defensively against Kelly and the Tar Heels?
They want to mix things up when Kelly comes off the on-ball screen, and one key Kenny Brooks told us today was we cannot afford to foul her.
Virginia Tech's starting lineup. Georgia Amore went for 22 against Carolina in the ACC tournament win for the Hokies last year. Kayla King 5 threes in the loss to Clemson last time out, and Kiana Traylor getting her 7th start. Ashley Owosu out with a finger injury. And it'll be North Carolina basketball.
Eric, that possession by Kitley, she didn't score, but you're seeing the growth from Thursday night. Doubles came the other night. She assumed a lot of things versus reading it, was very composed and patient there. Didn't finish, but got the shot off.
Yeah, you had to double check the box score. She was 4 of 7 from the field in the last game. Just 7 field goal attempts. You're like, is that just a quarter box? Is that a half? No, that was for the game. Only 7 attempts. Little stop and go, kick it over, wide open look for 3, and the first points of the game go to Kayla King, the shooter.
Well, credit Georgia Amore with that. She penetrated baseline, that forced the defense to drop, and that left King open.
Kelly defended by King. Usby, and an offensive foul called on Alyssa Usby for North Carolina. Taylor Soule taking the contact. Something Virginia Tech does quite well, by the way, and that's take charges.
This will be the 29th on the season, drawn by Taylor Soule, her 10th on this season. So huge now to try to get Usby off the floor. In North Carolina's 3 losses this year, Usby's been in foul trouble in all those games.
Usby had 16 points a season high, 13 rebounds last time out against Florida State. She is very important to what Carolina does. Turnover by Virginia Tech. Here's Kelly in transition. Good hands by Soule to knock it away on defense. Courtney Banghart's team, losers of 2 in a row. They fell to Michigan in Charlotte at the Jumpman Invitational. She was not happy at all with her team's performance and their effort really in that game. She thought they were much better in the days following that game as Kelly has it denied, and here comes Virginia Tech. North Carolina still looking for their first points. But last time out, it was a loss at Carmichael to Florida State, 78-71 on Thursday.
Well, I think if you're a UNC fan, no need to panic. Those are 2 good teams that you just got losses to. I think for me, it's can North Carolina avoid the bad quarters that they've had in their 3 losses?
Turnover for Kenny Brooks's team. in now his 7th season at Virginia Tech, has done a masterful job turning this program into one of the top programs in not just the ACC, but the country. They come in ranked 7th in the country, 5 straight weeks now in the AP Top 10 poll. Very ragged start here. There's last night was New Year's Eve, it's New Year's Day, you would expect it. It's 4 in the afternoon. Everybody had a chance to sleep in a little bit today, including you, Christy Thomas-Sturdy. We'll talk more about your adventure to get here and the effort you put forth to get here as we go along.
I think part of this is these two teams know one another so well. The 4th matchup within 10 months, and both coaches said it. They know you, you know them. Who's ready to execute?
They've had 3 meetings in each of the last 2 years, and another offensive foul, another charge taken by Virginia Tech. Now, one thing that's going to be very important here today is staying out of foul trouble, because these two teams do not have much of a bench.
And Eric, I mentioned these two teams know one another, so you know one another's tendencies. There, King does a tremendous job of cutting off the angle as Kelly puts it on the floor.
Deja Gregg, senior from Florence, South Carolina, will come into the game, play 20 minutes against Clemson. And again, both teams are limited. No Ashley Owusu, so that takes away a key piece of what Virginia Tech wants to do as they try to attack this North Carolina zone. Kitley has it denied, taken away. Kennedy Todd Williams, good defensive play. Can she finish and get Carolina on the board? The answer is no, but Usby and the Tar Heels not done yet. Second chance pays off for Todd Williams.
Courtney Banghart told us today, because I said, how do you force the pace? She said, it's our defense. And she goes, we have to get stopped so we can get out in transition. Didn't make the first shot, but credit Usby for trailing in transition and creating a second chance opportunity.
Denied out top. Here's a look by Gregg from deep, no, and Kennedy Todd Williams has the rebound. Hodgson, very good shooter, not afraid to take it to the basket. Kelly sets for 3. Usby can't leave her unmarked, gets the putback for her first 2.
Usby 2 rebounds, both came in transition. Tech's going to have to do a better job of matching up with Usby in transition.
Averaging 9.5 rebounds a game, leading the team 4th in the ACC. Now it's Soule trying a 3 and making a 3. Taylor Soule is now 5 for 14 on the season from outside the 3-point line. Not a big part of her offense, but it puts Virginia Tech on top by 2.
But as the transfer, this is something she added to her game this offseason, and it's nice to see it paying off for her.
After a strong career at Boston College, joining Virginia Tech this season. Usby on the turnaround. Usby 4 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist so far. And we're tied at 6.
Well, Eric, you mentioned the slow start for UNC, and then they switched to this matchup zone, and since then their energy's been up, and now they're getting out in transition more.
Well, as you just mentioned, Courtney Banghart said it starts with the defense, and they've been getting stops, making it tough, and Kelly puts them in front. Deja Kelly, almost 16 points a game on the season. Good for 6th in the ACC, 5th in the conference in assists, the playmaker and scorer for Carolina. Kitley draws the double, turns it over. North Carolina continues to look good on defense. That's knocked out of bounds by Deja Kelly. It'll be Virginia Tech basketball when we come back to Blacksburg. Tight in the opening minutes here on New Year's Day. The 34th meeting all time between North Carolina and Virginia Tech. Their last meeting was in the ACC tournament quarterfinal round. Liz Kitley got hurt, played just 11 minutes. Georgia Amore helped lead Virginia Tech back. Eva Hodgson with the clutch deep 3 to send it to overtime, but in OT, Virginia Tech pulled it out. Asia Shepard at 22 points, and the Hokies picked up the 87-80 victory in Greensboro. So this is the 7th meeting in the last 3 years. 3 meetings in each of the last 2 seasons, including these 3 meetings last year. The most recent, won by Virginia Tech to advance on to the semifinal round. Shot clock down to 9. Here's Gregg. The handoff to Amore for 3.
Huge bucket for Amore. But something to watch right now, how many times did the ball penetrate the three-point line in that possession for Virginia Tech?
Well, Virginia Tech has attempted 9 field goal attempts. 7 have been three-point attempts as Usby answers back for North Carolina. 6 early points for the junior from Minnesota, averaging 14 points a game.
Well, and Eric, to your point, against Clemson on Thursday night, I went back, 55% of their shot opportunities, they settled for threes. When you've got Kitley on the floor, I want to see her at least get a touch.
We'll see what happens when Kitley gets a touch, though. She draws a double.
And I'm not saying Kitley needs to shoot, but I think when the offense goes in, see how UNC is going to play, and then take advantage of the double or triple team.
Hodgson lost the handle. Hand it back to Kitley out of transition. Extra passing on the perimeter leads to an open 3. Good hustle on the glass by Gregg, and she draws the foul. Virginia Tech was beat on the boards against Clemson in that loss on Thursday. They were -8 in rebounding margin, and this has been a North Carolina team that has struggled on the glass. They've been out-rebounded in 7 of the first 12 games this season.
And all 3 of those losses. And it's not just being out-rebounded. It's what opponents are doing in terms of those second chance opportunities. And Eric, you mentioned they don't go that deep on the bench. Margin of error shrinks when you don't have a lot of depth on the bench, and so you don't want to give teams second and third opportunities.
So right now, Deja Gregg is the bench for Virginia Tech. Played 14 minutes a game off the bench last year, 20 minutes a game off the bench this year. She'll check out, Sol will check in. It really is a challenge for Kenny Brooks to manage the minutes on the floor. You'll have a player like Amor. She played all 40 last time out against Clemson. When you don't have that depth, you just got to pick your spots to buy a couple of minutes for each player or most players in the starting 5.
And let's be frank, the major injury for Kenny Brooks is Ashley Owusu, who was so versatile, allowed him to substitute as he wanted because of her ability to rebound, play down low, handle the basketball. And I asked him today, who has her injury impacted the most? And he said Georgia Amor, because I cannot afford to bring her off the court now.
Good defense there by Poole for North Carolina. You see the numbers with and without Owusu. Kelly left open. She'll take advantage of that every time. So Usby's the go-to so far for Carolina, 4 for 4 from the field. Kelly now with 4 points. North Carolina is 7 of 13 from the field.
And all 14 points for North Carolina have come since they went to this 3-2 matchup zone.
Kick ball. It'll be Virginia Tech ball on the baseline. So Courtney Banghart's team shooting well from the field, holding Virginia Tech so far to 25% shooting, and Kitley is 0 for 2 from the field so far. Trailer, a couple of bodies go down in the paint. Usby and Kitley get tangled up, and Usby gets called for the foul. I want to go back to Ashley Owusu because she's got that broken right pinky, happened on December 1st, surgery December 6th. The hope is she'll return in mid-conference play. Really no timetable for her right now, but she was someone who, when she was playing in those first 6 games, she was injured in Game 7. You can tell like things were starting to click and look a little bit smoother and crisper for Virginia Tech. When you take someone like that out of the mix, versatile player, things got a little bumpy for the Hokies.
Well, Kenny Brooks said, we were just getting comfortable. She was just getting comfortable with our returning players. We were figuring out her skill set and everything she could do. So really unfortunate on so many levels. But the silver lining is different players are picking up minutes right now. Can they evolve and hopefully be even better when they get Ashley Owusu back on the floor?
Paulina Paris into the game, Tiani Key for North Carolina. Usby picked up her 2nd personal foul, so that's key for North Carolina because she's been so good with the scoring and the rebounding so far for North Carolina. So Usby on the bench with 2, and North Carolina limited with depth, having that tested early. On the 3, no. Rebound controlled by Virginia Tech, and a second chance here. And a good block, but Kelly gets called for the foul, getting the body into the 3-point shooter, Kayla King, who will shoot 3.
Well, we want to see who was tough. One sign of that is second chance opportunities off the offensive rebounds. Kayla King sets up because it's one of the highest percentage shots in the game. Kelly, unfortunately, gets called for that foul.
So Kelly now with 2 personal fouls. So 2 for Kelly, 2 for Usby for North Carolina. Kelly goes to the bench, final minute of the first quarter. Kayla King connects at the free throw line. Every Sunday afternoon we have women's basketball right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Drum roll please, Christy, because I'm going to tell you about next week. We got 3 free throws, thank you. That was quite the drum roll. Haley Van Lith and Louisville will host Pittsburgh 2 Eastern on Sunday. Then Notre Dame will take on this North Carolina team after that. Sunday afternoons are for women's basketball on ACCN. Well, Taylor Guyman will check into the game, so maybe the Hokie bench is a little deeper than first thought. She did not play against Clemson last time out. This is her 12th appearance of the season. She's been battling injuries throughout her career. So Guyman into the game for this final minute of the first quarter.
Well, and this is what you need to do for some of these players who are coming off the bench. These in a quarter time. Just stay solid. And that's what Kenny Brooks said. Just don't hurt us. Give us an opportunity to stay even at least. But I think this was an offense-defensive sub because with 46 seconds to go, he wants Kitley back on the floor.
They get the ball back here on the turnover by North Carolina. So Kitley back in for this possession for the Hokies. Let's see how quickly they go here. See if they get 2 for 1 here to close out the quarter. Kitley getting bounced around by Key in the paint.
And Courtney Banghart said, I'm going to have at least 4 or 5 different post players on Kitley at different times today. Just keep them fresh, keep mixing it up.
Shot clock down to 4, down to 3. Traveling violation called on Virginia Tech. That's their 5th turnover.
I'm surprised Kenny Brooks isn't getting Kitley out here on this defensive possession.
Good point. We saw that from Guyman before. So this is it. Final possession, first quarter, as the freshman Paris works against Seoul. Hodgson works with the screen. That's short. And it's kicked out of bounds by Poole. So enough time here for Virginia Tech to push it up quickly. Try to get a final shot.
Good job by UNC. Extend their pressure, make it harder. Force Virginia Tech to take a little time off the clock before they can get a look at the rim.
Here's Traylor, gets to half court, gets it off, but it comes after the horn, and that does it for the first quarter. So Virginia Tech is on top here in Blacksburg. We still have the Christmas tree up. I mean, it's the 12 days of Christmas, I think. We still got plenty of time to leave that tree in that ornament.
Blacksburg. UNC started off slow, but when they went to the 3-2 matchup, the pace of the game picked up, and that allowed the Tar Heels to get out transition. Deja Kelly, all 4 of her points coming in transition. Alyssa Usby's offensive rebounds in transition. Don't have to face the half-court defense when you can get it out quick and establish pace.
See the numbers from the first quarter. Usby and Kelly both with 2 personal fouls, and a good take to the basket by Paulina Paris, averaging 4.5 points a game. Did not score against Florida State in 4 minutes last time out. Carolina settles back into that zone. They've tied it at 16. Kitley got good position, and Greg found her.
Great patience by Virginia Tech. Ball reversal, and then look to go high-low for the easy 2 for Kitley.
First field goal for Liz Kitley. Now 1 for 3 from the floor. She's got 4 points. Todd Williams will launch a 3. Ball bouncing around, and a second chance here for North Carolina. Opportunity missed for Virginia Tech to get the defensive rebound, and Hodgson makes them pay.
I love that Hodgson, as soon as she saw the offensive rebound secured, she just went to the 3-point line and spotted up.
First points for Hodgson. 47% three-point shooter. Here's Traylor, who pulls the trigger on the 3. Nope. Virginia Tech now 3 for 11 outside the 3-point line. Key on the turnaround. Greg has the rebound for the Hokies. Good defense by North Carolina as Kennedy Todd Williams got a piece of it. 14 to shoot here for Virginia Tech. Men's Hoop Wednesday doubleheader right here on the ACC Network, ESPN app, rather. Duke in Raleigh to take on NC State. That's at 7 Eastern time, and then we'll be in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Wake Forest Wednesday, ACCN. Lepowski for Duke, player to watch. He's had that Rookie of the Week award locked down. Amor for 3. Second chance here for the Hokies.
Taylor Soule has been so active here early in this game, creating second chance opportunities, being aggressive off the bounce.
And she gets called for being too aggressive. Offensive foul.
You know what, though? If I'm Kenny Brooks, I'm going to take it because it's effort that gets her the second chance opportunity. Now she's just trying to create, and that's a tough call if you're a Hokie fan.
Well, had that arm pushing out there a little bit.
Yes.
The second look convinced you?
Yes, I didn't see the initial.
It was the same play both times, just from different angles.
I just like the aggressiveness there, okay?
All right, then you'll like these numbers with Taylor Soule. Last 5 games averaging better than 13 a game as Carolina answers back on the other end to go up by 3 here in the first half. North Carolina back-to-back losses. Michigan and Florida State. Florida State was at home. Kitley gets that to drop.
If UNC's going to play behind Kitley, that double, it doesn't matter if you're in man or zone, has to be there sooner. She's just too good at creating space to get her shot off.
Kelly back into the game, got it back for the 3-point attempt, and Gregg pulls down the rebound. That's her 3rd rebound to go along with a couple of assists. Good minutes off the bench from the senior. Kitley turns, can't get it to drop. Alexandra Zelaya bringing some minutes to the post for North Carolina, with Usby on the bench with 2 fouls. And on the drive, a foul is called on Soule.
Liz Kitley just flashes low, and you see 4 Blues near her, but no one commits to go double. And that's just too much for the young player Key to try to handle Kitley one-on-one down low.
See what Liz Kitley has done when it comes to double-double scoring. Her conference in Division I ranked when it comes to doubles 5th in the country. In that category, she draws so much attention. Double teams, triple teams, sometimes gets frustrated. I think Kenny Brooks is trying to get her to, when she's pushed, to push back a little bit. Metaphorically speaking, I'm saying.
He said today, let's be frank, when it comes to UNC, it's not 1 defender, it's not 2. They've got players coming from the bench, coming from underneath the floor. She's surrounded at all times.
Amor turns around and gets the hoop. She's got 5. Virginia Tech in front. Kelly for 3.
I don't know what Kelly had for breakfast this morning, but they need to keep feeding this young lady the same thing. Hitting the jumpers, getting to the rim, now knocking it down from deep.
Deja had a team-high 20 in the loss to Florida State last time out. And here she comes with it for North Carolina. On top by 2. We've gone back and forth here in the first half. Entry pass to Key. Kitley there for the block. 30 blocks on the season for Liz Kitley. They did not have a block in the game against Clemson last time out. Breakdown for North Carolina defense. And Virginia Tech will make you pay from outside the 3-point line. Amor for 3.
And as soon as Amor let go of the ball, Paris looks at Kelly and is saying, you've got to take that, but you've got to communicate a lot sooner when you're facing Virginia Tech around the 3-point line.
Hodgson defended by Amor, couldn't get it to go, and Kitley's got the rebound. 3rd rebound for Liz Kitley to go with her 6 points. Amor, step back 3. Paris answers back to quiet the crowd here in Blacksburg.
We've just got a 3-point shooting contest developing here.
North Carolina averaging more than 6 threes made a game. It's a big part of the offense for Virginia Tech, of course. First in the ACC, making on average 8 a game. Kitley is fouled by Key. And Christy Tomascuddy, you love a good three-point shootout.
Well, especially when shooters are ready to knock it down. Georgia Amoore just moves to the open spot, gets the feet set, and this is what I love. At 5'6", creates the space to hit 3 here in the first half.
Was made on December 1st when Georgia Amoore recorded the first triple-double in program history. So the celebration has continued and really reached a high point before the game. Georgia's mom in the States for the holidays from Australia. So they presented the ball from that triple-double against Nebraska with Kelly Amoore in attendance and on the floor, and a couple of tears were shed. And Georgia, I was trying so hard just to build up this memorable moment, and then a turnover.
Well, that's because you're making fun of my tears. I got choked up watching it.
Todd Williams gets the little baby hook on the move for 2. She's got 4. So Georgia went for 10 points, 24 points rather, 10 rebounds, 11 assists against Nebraska. It's great to have her mom, Kelly, here in the States. She was at the Clemson game the other night. Georgia's had a good first half here for Virginia Tech, 11 points. Another 3 made by Virginia Tech. That's Kayla King, and she's got 9. Hokies are 6 of 15 from outside the arc. Hodgson. Kelly on the turnaround, yes. Of course, North Carolina's been playing without Alyssa Usby, who got off to a great start in the first quarter, but picked up 2 fouls in that first quarter. So she's on the bench, and while she's on the bench, North Carolina hanging tough in a game that has had 5 ties now and 14 lead changes in the first half.
Well, and that's UNC in a nutshell. They've got balanced scoring. Anyone can lead them in scoring on any given night.
Kelly. How about this? Zelaya will try a 3. No. Offensive rebound and a second chance here, and a trip to the free throw line coming, the first free throws of the game for North Carolina. Balanced scoring for North Carolina, but game balance has been the big question for North Carolina. They've had bursts. We saw it in Portland. They had that great finish against Oregon, spun their tires for a while. Fell behind by 17 Iowa State, went on a 14-0 run, start of the fourth quarter. Sustaining and being balanced through the game has been the issue for North Carolina at times this season.
I mean, absolutely. In their 3 losses, they've had 1 bad quarter at each game. -10 in the third quarter against Florida State on Thursday, -15 in the first against Michigan, and -10 against Indiana. If they can just play consistent 4 quarters, this is a really dangerous team.
Foul was on Traylor, her first, as Destiny Adams got her first points of the game with the first free throws of the game for North Carolina. Amoore drops it down to Gregg, couldn't get it. Kelly racing for the loose ball, won by the Hokies.
Great job by Traylor to get the ball back for the Hokies.
Adams right now trying to defend Kitley. Tech keeps looking towards her.
Well, and that's where they need to get the ball into Kitley. Go winging in.
Kelly. We know Deja Kelly can go on a run, and she'll get to the free throw line. One of the keys for Kenny Brooks was keeping Deja Kelly off of the free throw line, because if she is at the line a lot, that means Virginia Tech is picking up fouls, and that's something they can't afford to do.
To line number 25, Deja Kelly, shooting 2.
So here is Deja Kelly, 72% from the free throw line to shoot a couple. This week we'll have the first Nothing But Net of the season, Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, right after our women's hoop doubleheader. The crew will break down the night in the ACC, highlights and analysis of every women's game, look ahead to the best games in the coming week, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. That will be appointment television if the first few days of conference play in the ACC are any indication. There's going to be some upsets, some memorable matchups, some great performances. We'll take a look at what's happened today in the ACC coming up at halftime. A little less than 2 minutes to go to halftime. Kelly ran out of room. Zelaya tries another three. Body's on the ground, and an offensive foul is called on Kiana Traylor. That's her third.
Hokie Nation does not agree with this, but I think Traylor did displace a little bit of that forearm. I mean, that whole possession just got chaotic. Bodies were flying everywhere.
So that's 3 on Traylor. Guyman comes into the game for the Hokies. Kelly, open look. She won't miss those too often, but another opportunity here for North Carolina. Todd Williams can't cash in. Greg tried to get the rebound, and Zelaya gets called for the foul. North Carolina's getting some second looks. You can see rebounding is just about even here in the first half. Carolina was a -10 in rebound margin against Florida State. They gave up 20 offensive rebounds, which led to 37 second chance points. Goes back to that point you're talking about before. They are getting out-rebounded, and they have been 7 times this year. And each of their losses, they've been out-rebounded. Three-pointer on the way from Amor. 14 first-half points for Georgia Amor, averaging a little bit better than 12 points a game. Final minute of the quarter. Todd Williams, that won't drop, and Greg's got the rebound. 5th rebound of the half for Greg. Amor, Destiny Adams got a hand in there. Knocked it out of bounds. It'll be Virginia Tech ball with 36 seconds to go in the half.
Eric, we talked about a sense of urgency in the open for both these teams, and we're seeing it here. Bodies on the floor, a couple of forced shots offensively because players are just trying to make things happen.
Eight to shoot. Amor needs help. Gets it from Greg. Greg drives the lane. And the foul! She has provided a good boost off the bench for Tech.
Well, I love the fact shot clock's going down. She doesn't panic, doesn't force an outside shot, gets to the rim and covers the ball up for ball security, and then just a deep breath after the basket.
And she finishes the three-point play. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in the first half off the bench for De'Asia Gray. Kelly will do it herself. Off the rim, no good. And that will do it here in the first half. Very tight right from the start.
Absolutely, and you know that Virginia Tech shot the lights out from 3. Now, the problem for UNC is that's been an Achilles heel for them all season. Opponents shooting 33% from deep. What adjustments do they make to defend the three-point arc here in the second half?
This is the 6th time North Carolina has been down at halftime. They've come back to win 3 times when down at the half. First shot of the half is a miss.
Yeah, and Craig starting here this second half for the Hokies.
Getting the start for Kiana Traylor, who had 3 fouls in the first half, and Greg was very good in the first half. Usby wasting no time, getting back into the mix.
I think she heard you, Eric. She was ready and queued up.
Back outside, the three-pointer, no. Soul fights off Todd Williams. Can't get the putback, and a foul is going to be called on Usby. That is number 3.
What Eric mentioned, Usby was perfect from the field in the first half. The only thing that slowed her down was foul trouble. So, hey, I'm on the floor. I'm going to make the most of it here. until she just picked up the third.
Courtney Banghart upset with the call and going to leave Usby on the floor. Kitley on the turnaround. That is short. North Carolina has made it tough on Liz Kitley. She was 2 of 5 from the field in the first half. 6 points. Kelly stays hot. 15 points now for Deja Kelly.
Well, that starts with Alyssa Usby in transition. She does so many things for UNC. She was defending Kitley a moment ago. She can defend any position on the floor. Started the break, which allowed Deja Kelly to get out and run with no one picking her up.
Amor Hodgson had it sniffed out, but just could not handle the pass. She was there for it, but just couldn't hold on to it. Virginia Tech ball with 9 to shoot.
And that's scouting. That's knowing your opponent. They know when Amor goes baseline that she likes to go weak side baseline kick. Well defended by North Carolina.
Amor takes the handoff from Kitley. Can't get it. There's Soule on the offensive glass. Usby tries to save it and does.
As a basketball fan, I wanted that one to go for Taylor Soule because she just timed that rebound so well.
Soule gets called for the foul.
Number 13, Taylor Soule, her third personal foul. First team foul.
So Soule picks up the foul. That is her third. So Traylor comes in.
And as a coach, these are the fouls you don't want. You also say, well, you get 5, but that's really unfortunate. Soule's just been so active for Virginia Tech, and now this really ties Kenny Brooks' hands from a substitution perspective.
I mean, the numbers aren't crazy, but there was an impact from the bench.
We have an official timeout on the floor.
Officials want to go to the monitor here. Maybe there's a little contact above the shoulder of Kelly, so we'll check it out during this timeout.
Personal foul on White.
We come back. I was just trying to time it out perfectly for Joe Vasili. Joe's wondering, is this thing on? Tap, tap, is this thing on? So they're at a long review. It took the entire media timeout, and we think they were looking to see. There was contact up above the shoulder here. See the forearm on Kelly as Soule was coming through? Christy and I agree that there was a pretty good sell job by Deja Kelly, so it's just a common foul. There was no upgrade after the video review. And here is Hodgson out of the timeout. Kelly wants to do it off the dribble. Deja Kelly is now 7 of 12 from the floor.
It's tough to defend her because she can elevate, she can knock down the 3. You give her any space to contain, that's when she just stops and pops.
Great thought about it.
And you see UNC just playing off of Greg, daring her to shoot.
Now Kitley turns on Poole. Here comes another defender. Shot clock down to 2. Greg has to shoot. Rebound fought for and won by the Hokies. Remember, we talked about in the first half. It really hurt North Carolina last game against Florida State. They gave up a ton of offensive rebounds to the Seminoles. Greg, no. Usby's got this one. Carolina on top by 4. They were down by 2 at halftime, and a foul called on Virginia Tech. Kayla King gets called for the foul.
Sorry, Eric, I was just going to say, you see how quickly UNC's trying to score now, pushing tempo, not waiting for later actions in their half-court sets, but trying to get second or third options out of the transition break.
Todd Williams, nice little move, couldn't get it, sticks with it, and Kitley gets called for the foul. Thought she had all ball, and she has a couple of thousand people who agree with her.
Well, in case you can't hear it at home, those 1,000 fans have not stopped disagreeing with this call, and I'm in the bandwagon here. I thought it was clean by Kitley.
Clean at the hand, but what about the body? Looked like a little contact there.
But who initiated the contact?
I'm just playing devil's advocate, and I think that takes a lot of courage because these people can hear what I say.
I was going to say, I'm going to have to escort you out of this building.
Well, you are my security, so good luck with that. Todd Williams at the free throw line. Teams are perfect so far. Virginia Tech is 8 for 8. North Carolina is 6 for 6 from the line. Real good start to the quarter for North Carolina. They have outscored Virginia Tech 8-zip. Virginia Tech has missed their last 8 field goal attempts. Things started to turn in the first half of North Carolina with the defense, and there'll be a bit of a sarcastic cheer here in this building as Kitley is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line, shoot a couple. A reminder, next Sunday, women's basketball doubleheader. You see that here on the ACC Network. Every Sunday it'll be Pittsburgh and Louisville at 2 Eastern time. And a showdown between Notre Dame and North Carolina. Be interesting to see where North Carolina is ranked because they lost to a very good but unranked Florida State team at home. Olivia Miles is going to be a player to watch all season long. North Carolina wins this game here today, a road game against a team in the top 10. That may hold their position pretty firm, but you would think the loser of this game is going to take a pretty big stumble down the AP poll come tomorrow.
Well, Eric, I'll go back to when is Florida State going to get ranked? 14-2 on the season, and I said it in the preseason and everything else. I think we all miscalculated just how good Latson and this team would be. Hats off to the Seminoles so far here in the season.
We showed you at halftime. They put 99 on the board today in their road win at Georgia Tech. Traylor steps back. That won't drop. Kitley, offensive rebound. Kitley puts it back for 2.
Eric, that's the 7th point for Kitley, and nothing has come easy. Just not first shot, second shot, staying with it, and you're seeing all the blue jerseys around her every time she catches the ball.
Kelly works it to Usby, staying out there with the 3 fouls, tied up by King. Possession arrow will keep it with North Carolina.
Jump ball. Possession Tar Heels.
Just great one-on-one defense by King, and what I like is she moved her feet, got in the position to move laterally quick enough, and then went for the tie-up.
Hodgson look for 3. Greg with the rebound. The push by Amor. Amor for 3. We're tied at 43. First points of the second half for the junior, 17 for the game. Todd Williams with the handle. Too strong, and Kitley touched it last. Hodgson fighting on the glass.
Give me some more Amor. Her 5th, made 3 of the game. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Not good.
Great. I think you're off to a good start here on New Year's Day. Now there is a little confusion here as far as what's happening with the timeout. Because they had a video review, that counted as our media timeout here. So until someone calls a timeout, Joe Vasili's trying to get everybody back on the court. It is under 5, and you're kind of like, well, that's when we take our timeout. Remember, we took that timeout when they had that video review, and that's what Kenny Brooks is giving the explanation for. I think you were in midseason form. I just want to point out, I mentioned it earlier, the effort that Christy Thomas-Scuddy made to get to this top 25 matchup today. She was flying into Roanoke Airport, the nearby airport. The pilot didn't like what he saw on final approach, and by that I mean he couldn't see the runway. So gunned it, pulled out. You flew out to Richmond. Then last night you celebrated New Year's Eve by driving from Richmond here to Blacksburg to get to this game. You made a new friend at Richmond Airport who was on the flight with you, who happens to have the street that this arena is on named after him. Coach Beamer was with you at the airport, so you had a New Year's Eve to remember to get here today to be with us. We appreciate your effort.
Well, first of all, I wasn't going to miss this game. I was excited as soon as I was assigned it. 2 great teams, but yeah, I looked over because we sat on the runway a long time yesterday.
A long time.
A long time, and it's Frank Beamer and his wife Cheryl.
A Hall of Famer.
And you know that I have so many coaching crushes, especially in football, and this is a man I've always idolized. And Eric, the man is even nicer than he was as great as a coach. So made my New Year's Eve.
And tempers were very, very thin with all the delays and everything, so I'm glad you had a good experience on New Year's Eve with Coach Beamer. You joined the fan club
lemons
here
who
at
make
Putnam.
lemonade.
When you asked him how to drive from Richmond to Blacksburg, did he tell you to put into your Maps app, my name? That's where the arena is, Beamer Way. So after they straightened out the fact that we weren't going away, foul is called on Usby, and that is 4 on Usby. So that's a key moment here for North Carolina as one of their best players battling foul trouble, tied at 43, but it'll be North Carolina basketball. We talked about it a little bit earlier. We didn't expect much of an impact from the benches here today, but there have been flashes where the benches have come through for these two teams, and they're going to have to come through here in this tight game.
Absolutely. I think for Virginia Tech especially, the last 3 games, the bench averaged 4 points a game. Already 5 here this afternoon, and just as importantly, some critical minutes.
Turnover, North Carolina basketball.
That's Amore's 6th turnover in this game. She's shooting the ball extremely well, setting things up. That's tough. I wasn't sure about that one. Looks like the ball was out of her hands when she broke the foot.
12 turnovers total, and then North Carolina turns it over.
But I can also say I had replay and slowed down to make that call. The officials did not.
Traylor has been battling foul trouble. Amore has unlimited range and shows it off. 20 for Georgia Amore.
And you really can't blame Kennedy Todd Williams. Her feet were off the three-point line, but that's the range of Amore.
Hodgson gave it off to Key, who had it taken away. Kayla King. Nine-0 run for Virginia Tech. And then a foul is going to be called on Virginia Tech as Zelaya got knocked down.
Eric, we still have 13 minutes to go in this game, and Amore already with 6 made threes. That one from practically Richmond.
Which you're very familiar with. It's very far from here. So Kitley's got 2 personal fouls. She just got whistled for that personal. Inside of 3 to go in the third. In a 3-point game. Todd Williams sets for 3. North Carolina needed that. That ends the 9-0 run and ties things up at 46.
And that's big for Todd Williams. Struggled in the loss to Florida State on Thursday night from 3. Had been on a tear, so that's a good sign for UNC.
Foul called on North Carolina as they were trying to keep Kitley off the glass. Key was there, and she gets called for the foul. So Key will check out, and Destiny Adams will check in 2 on Key. Hodgson coming on, Paris back in. Kelly will get a rest.
And this is the luxury that Courtney Banghart has, because she's got 5 posts that she can throw at Kitley, and we're seeing them all, unfortunately, use up those fouls on Kitley as well.
Greg worked it into Kitley, who couldn't hold on to it, had it knocked away. And here comes the freshman Paris. Paris, little hesitation. She was fouled by Kayla King. That's going to be 5 fouls now on Virginia Tech, so North Carolina will be at the free throw line rest of the way here in this third quarter. Free throw shooting had been a problem for North Carolina, but they're 6 for 6 today. They were 76% on Thursday. That's brought them up to 66% on the season, still 14th in the ACC. Paulina Paris at the line. 5 of 9 on the season. Second one to come Wednesday. Men's basketball doubleheader here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. It'll be Duke and NC State to get things started 7 Eastern time. Then North Carolina and Wake Forest. Wednesday, ACCN, and also on the app. One of 2 for Paris. She's got 6. And Carolina's got the lead back. 19th lead change of the game, and we're in the third quarter.
It's a nice kick. Ball still rolling.
Got a lot out of it. Gonna take a minute to retrieve it.
I don't know if the Hokie or UNC's looking for a field goal kicker for next season.
Eva Hodgson, maybe if there's open tryouts. Greg, they're working around. Zelaya is down. Greg will try it and make it for 3. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists off the bench for Greg. Remember, as Christy pointed out, she got the start here in the second half to reward what she had done in the first half. Hodgson, strong take to the basket. That's a big part of her game. She's gotten stronger, and she is not afraid to go to the hoop.
Eric, the early part of the season, I thought Hodgson was mainly a three-point shooter, spotting up. But in the last probably 6 games, I've seen her take the ball to the rim more than she has shot the 3. That's a great job at just taking what the defense gives her and exploiting it.
Zelaya there defensively on Kitley. Todd Williams takes it out. Now back to Adams. Adams looking for a foul, doesn't get the call, and here comes Traylor for Virginia Tech. Final minute of the third. Skips it over. Traylor gets it back. Wide open 3. Second chance here for King and Virginia Tech. And a foul is called on Paris.
Credit Virginia Tech. Pass fakes right now are allowing them to see open players, to create triple penetration lanes. And I've said before, Georgia Amore may be 5'6", but her vertical is outstanding. If she doesn't go up and get that, it's an easy 2 for UNC.
5 fouls on North Carolina, so 2 free throws for Amore, 78% from the line. Number 1 on the team. Went for 22 in that ACC tournament win against North Carolina last season. An offensive rebound for Greg, and Virginia Tech's got it. Shot clock to 20. Traylor with 2, with 1, and 1! Chance for a 3-point play. Kayana Traylor.
The patience of Traylor, probing, and then gets a step on her defender, sees the weak side coming, and almost uses that momentum against the post player to get by, draw the contact, and finish. Tremendous toughness and even better finish by Traylor.
Traylor in the starting lineup with Ashley Owosu out with the finger injury. She comes up with a 3-point play, first points of the night for the senior. 5 seconds for Kelly into the game, trying to get something done for Carolina, and she bursts to the basket to beat the buzzer and finishes with another field goal. Deja Kelly with 19 points. It is a good one here up the road from downtown Blacksburg. We go to the 4th. It's a 2-point game. Well, remember, in the third quarter, North Carolina took a 43-37 lead, so a strong finish by Virginia Tech to go on top by 2, and now Courtney Banghart has to bring in Alyssa Usby, picked up her 4th personal foul with 4:52 to go in the third quarter. Usby on the floor here to start the 4th. She's got 10 points on 5 of 6 shooting and 5 rebounds. You see the numbers shooting. 10 threes for Virginia Tech, 6 twos for the Hokies. Looking for a 2 here. They don't get it. They get a second chance, though, from Taylor Soule. That 3 won't go. Kelly and Kitley get tied up. Possession arrow will give it to North Carolina. Virginia Tech has 12 offensive rebounds. That was a concern for North Carolina after giving up 20 offensive rebounds to Florida State in their last game on Thursday.
Well, for both these teams, both did not do a good job of just boxing out. And so the piece right now, because we've talked about how well scouted, each team knows what the other's going to do. It's going to be those little things. Can you keep the other team off the free throw line, and can you limit them to one shot?
Usby turned it over. Big part of the issue, too, for North Carolina is Usby dealing with foul trouble since the first quarter. She didn't play in the second quarter at all. There's your number 1 rebounder and the 4th-ranked rebounder in the ACC. Deep 3 won't drop for Amor. And one and done, and here comes Paris. Freshman was soul chasing.
Last 2 possessions, UNC's gotten lucky because they have left Amor open, but she hasn't been able to convert from 3.
Usby kicks it back outside Kelly. Kelly couldn't get it. Good job on the offensive glass by Poole. And a second chance here for Carolina. And a foul is called on Amor.
Foul by this Hokies on number 5, Georgia Amor. Her first personal foul. First team foul recorded.
First personal on Georgia Amor. Paris will try it and make it. Big 3 from Paulina Paris, the freshman, has 9.
The only freshman on a very veteran Tar Heel ball club. No fear here this afternoon.
The lone addition to this roster for this season did not score against Florida State in 4 minutes her last time out. She's been good off the bench here for the Tar Heels. Soule on the pull-up, yes. First points in the second half for Taylor Soule. She's got 5. Todd Williams for 3. One and done. The rebound to King.
Courtney Banghart wanted a little bit more ball movement in the half court. A couple of times when there's been quick shots, she has said reverse it or move it.
Mistake by the Hokies. They turn it over for a 15th time.
Those are the kind of turnovers that make a coach go great. Or at least made me go great, I should say. Unforced.
Well, Kenny Brooks talked about it before the game. We just have to avoid the little mistakes. And that's not just the turnovers. It's switches, recognizing mismatches, just focusing on the details.
His
He
term,
gets lost 2 out of the last 3.
yeah, he said the self-inflicting wounds.
Oh, another good play by Paulina Paris into double figures now with 11. Traveling violation, another little mistake, a little thing that costs the Hokies.
Paulina Paris, the freshman, came in today averaging 4 points a game already in this quarter alone, a 3, and then you see her get crowded, runs it to the rim.
Todd Williams. Back out to Kelly.
Kelly missed pull down low.
Kelly, and an offensive foul, no basket.
Offensive foul.
Foul is called on Deja Kelly.
Deja Kelly, her 4th personal foul.
That's 4 on Kelly.
Courtney Banghart is stunned here by this call, and that's subtle. That's a tough call.
Nothing too subtle about Banghart's reaction. I don't blame her.
No. Soule needs to try to go at Usby. Don't settle for a jumper. See if you can get that 5th foul on her.
Well, this is so key here because you got Kelly and Usby both on the floor with 4. Virginia Tech. Kayla King knocks down the 3. If the Hokies could take care of the ball, that really helps them. Virginia Tech back on top by 2. Previous 2 possessions, they had turned the ball over.
I guess if you keep hitting threes, you can afford every third possession to turn it over.
Covers up your mistakes and your ills, doesn't it? 11 threes for Virginia Tech here today as Kelly gets fouled by Kitley.
And Eric, that is subtle, but that is one of the areas where Kelly is so good and so dangerous. The hedge comes from Kitley, so she just looks to split it, and Kitley gets caught moving, and that's where the foul came in.
Third foul on Kitley. Carolina's kept her in check. 9 points, 5 rebounds. It's been the three-point shooting for Virginia Tech that's made the difference. Paris, a difference maker for North Carolina. 13 for the freshman. Tied at 58.
Eric, we mentioned North Carolina can beat you in a lot of different ways. And I got to add Paulina Paris now this afternoon to that list.
Another turnover, an unforced error for Virginia Tech as Soule took too many steps.
Well, Paulina Paris taking it left again. What great touch. And she knows she's a little undersized there, so she keeps the ball extended and away from King to get it off the glass.
17 turnovers now for Virginia Tech. Paris, heat check. Rebound by Kitley. Soule had a step on the field, but got caught in deep and couldn't finish. Todd Williams in transition. Back to Kelly. Still a lot of time to go, and Kelly and Usby both playing with 4 for North Carolina. Pull to Usby. Usby against Gregg. Usby's got it. 12 for Alyssa Usby. 2-point lead for North Carolina. Kitley. Usby defending her and traveling violation. Turnover, Virginia Tech. That's their 18th. They are down by 2 at home in the fourth. Paris had not scored in the previous 2 games for North Carolina, but she has scored plenty here today at Virginia Tech.
Well, she was saving her best for today. 13 points in the game, 8 in the fourth quarter from 3, off the bounce. UNC with 15 bench points, 13 by Paris.
Turnovers adding up for Kenny Brooks' team. They came in averaging 13 a game. But in the 3 ACC games this season, and they are 1-2 in ACC play, they are a -3 in turnover margin. So it has hurt them, and it's hurting them here today, but they are only down by 2 here at home playing against North Carolina.
Courtney Bangart talked this morning during shoot-around about ATOs and executing out of the timeouts. Here Kelly with a big 2.
Deja Kelly has 21. 4th time this season she's gone for 20 or more. 14th time in her career. And Carolina's on top by 4 in the fourth. Can Virginia Tech continue to produce from outside the three-point line? Amor. Kitley. Give the assist to Amor. Kelly has to be careful playing with the 4 fouls. Three-pointer, no. Look who's underneath to try to get the second chance. It's Paris. Couldn't get it. Saved by Virginia Tech, and here come the Hokies down by 2. 14 assists on 19 field goals for Virginia Tech. Amor tried to force it in, and it's going to be a foul on Poole for North Carolina.
Amor's been so hot from 3 that they run out, so she drives. That forces the rotation. Kitley comes to ball side. Bounce pass up the lane, little pocket pass. Great shot by Kitley.
Baseline out of bounds play. They look for Kitley against Usby with the 4 fouls. All she can do is stand there with her hands straight up.
Well, I actually thought Kitley would continue on the move instead of just jump stopping, but was still able to gather and finish.
Paris has given North Carolina another scoring threat, and she delivers with the left hand again. She's matched her career high with 15.
hats off to Courtney Banghart because she knows that this is the matchup that's working. King has not been able to contain the dribble penetration of Paris, and Paris just keeps taking it left and finishing.
Seven to shoot. Soule. Ball on the floor. Another turnover for Virginia Tech. Here comes Kelly and a foul on the reach by Greg at half court.
It's not a bad foul by Greg.
13
I think it was going to be easy transition points for
Good
UNC.
foul. You can upgrade that from not a bad to a good foul by the senior. 3 fouls on Virginia Tech here in the quarter. Hodgson. Kelly gets knocked down. And a foul is going to be called on Soule. That's her fourth.
Checking in 23, Kayla Traylor.
Soule and Kelly get tangled up. Soule, of course, a ton of ACC experience with BC and now with Virginia Tech. Soule ran into Kelly, so she got called for the foul. Hodgson, Usby, the fadeaway. Won't drop, and a rebound for Traylor.
Big stop by Virginia Tech there.
We've got Poole defending Kitley. Skip it out, Greg, wide open three. Virginia Tech on top by 1, under 2 to go in the fourth.
The plays have broken down, and that's when you need your seniors to step up. De'Asia Greg, with shot clock winding down, steps up, hits her second 3 of the afternoon. Huge for the Hokies.
2 bench players making huge impacts here today. Greg with the 11 points. And how about Paulina Paris matching her career high with 15? For Greg, it's a new season high with 11. Her career high is 13. So after the Virginia Tech timeout, here comes North Carolina down by 1. Hodgson. Back out for Kelly. Kelly on the crossover. Offensive foul. That is 5. She has fouled out.
We have talked about King's defensive effort all game long. Moving her feet, beats Kelly to the spot. The 31st charge drawn by the Hokies is probably the biggest one of the season so far.
So Kelly's day is done. A team high 21 points on 9 of 17 shooting.
But here's the thing, if you're a UNC fan, no need to panic. You've still got plenty of scores on the floor. Right now it's about the defense.
Hokies taking their time, closing in on 1 minute to go here in the fourth.
1 minute remaining.
On the drive, it won't drop. And a foul is going to be called on Greg as she ran over Poole.
Where something to watch is Thursday night, Virginia Tech at Clemson. In the game situations, they did not handle well at all.
A couple late turnovers in that final minute.
Fouled when Kenny Brooks did not want him to, so it forced his hand in terms of his game planning. So I'm eager to see now in this last 57 seconds how much has Virginia Tech learned from that loss on Thursday night.
So Virginia Tech is over the limit here, and going to the free throw line is Anya Poole, 14 of 18 from the line this season. tie game, final minute. What a great way to bring in the new year here in Blacksburg. Who will it be for the Hokies? Will it be Greg again? Will it be Kitley? Will it be a turnover? 20th turnover for the Hokies. Courtney Banghart will take a timeout with 28 seconds to go in the game. Will take the 30-second timeout and be back to Blacksburg in a bit. We reset it with 28 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Both teams with plenty of timeouts remaining. Carolina with one foul to give. It's Carolina basketball. Deja Kelly has fouled out. Where do they go, Christy Thomas-Scuddy?
Well, in other games, what they've done is some back screen action. You're seeing rushing Usby off. Isolation. Great pass by Paulina Paris.
Poole went onto the deck with it, though, instead of straight up with it. It may have cost her. And now Virginia Tech is looking for a timeout, and Kenny Brooks has it called with 14.2 to go in a tie game. It'll be a full timeout.
Well, credit UNC for great execution, but even better defense by Deja Gregg. I thought this was 2 for UNC when Poole got the ball. What a block by the senior.
So it'll be Virginia Tech basketball just shy of half court.
Well, Eric, something to look at there is UNC still has a foul to give.
So with 14.2 to go, take me in the huddle. How does Courtney Banghart use that foul here?
I think you don't want to foul it early. You let the play start to evolve. You definitely don't want to foul a shooter. But what I would probably do is try to foul the passer. You got to imagine right now it's probably Amor with the look, or they're going to go inside to Kitley.
This game has been tight from the start. 12 ties, 26 lead changes. Virginia Tech led by 2 after 1. They led by 2 at halftime. They led by 2 after 3. And right now we're tied in the final seconds of the fourth.
It's rare I see a team with more threes made than free throws, and that's where we're at with Virginia Tech. As well as they have shot, it's been the issue of the turnovers. And so right now, if I was Kenny Brooks, the first thing I'm saying is take care of the basketball. Just get us a shot opportunity.
Now a timeout called by North Carolina.
Timeout, North Carolina. It's a 30-second timeout.
Happy New Year, everybody. We talked about how well these two teams know one another. Courtney Banghart just wanted to see the alignment of Virginia Tech, then makes the timeout call to basically prep her team on what she thinks the Hokies are about to run.
Amor with the 21 points. 4 in double figures tonight. Now Virginia Tech will change things up. Kitley was going to inbound originally. Now she'll go to the top of the key. Down to 10 seconds. North Carolina looked to give the foul. They haven't fouled. Down to 5.
And that's what Courtney Banghart is yelling right now. Foul. Not the shooter, though.
They foul the three-point shooter with 1.8 to go. 3 free throws coming for Virginia Tech.
14 foul.
Paulina Paris tried to get the foul earlier when Amor was at the top, and that's a no-no. Doesn't matter in the game or not, you never foul a jump shooter. And I love this move by Kenny Brooks, pulling everybody off the free throw line because he does not want to risk a foul here.
North Carolina will take a timeout to advance it here. Still a one-possession game, still a chance for North Carolina, but Georgia Amor with mom in the building delivers 3 free throws to put Virginia Tech on top with 1.8 to go.
Hey, if you're a Virginia Tech fan, you don't let Georgia Amor's mom go back to Australia as well as she has played today.
Hugs all around. The heart rate is elevated. We take it back to that final possession. They were looking for the foul earlier and then looking for it here. Banghart had run up towards half court saying foul, foul, and then Todd Williams got called for the foul on the shooter, which is the big mistake.
I thought Kennedy Todd Williams had the opportunity, one less dribble. If she'd have made the foul then, I think we got a very different ball game. But now for UNC, plenty of time. 1.8. There's time to catch. There's time to shoot the basketball. I wouldn't be surprised if potentially you want to get Kitley away from the basket here. And on the flip side, if I'm Virginia Tech, I'm going to put Kitley on the basketball, on the inbounds pass. Force something wide or high that allows your defense time to recover.
Eva Hodgson is a 47% three-point shooter. It's the play for her here. And now a timeout called by Kenny Brooks.
Timeout to Virginia Tech. It's a 30-second timeout.
Todd Williams, 36% from outside the three-point line. I mentioned Hodgson at 47. Kelly has fouled out, so you lose your top scorer in this end-of-game situation. But you talked about earlier the end-of-game issues for Virginia Tech in their previous game. It's late-game execution that's costly at the moment for North Carolina, unless they can make a three here to erase that mistake and send it to overtime.
Well, so many people are going to focus on the shooter here. I'm focused on the inbounder because with so little time on the clock, that pass has to be delivered on the money. So right now, you got to know the Hokies are keyed in on Hodgson. I expect them to switch every screen here in order to stay solid defensively.
Todd Williams batted away. The clock will run out, and Virginia Tech has knocked off North Carolina in a New Year's Day thriller.
Unfortunate that either team had to lose this game. I was selfishly hoping for overtime because you saw the back and forth nature of both teams. Different players stepping up at different times, but huge win for the Hokies here this afternoon.
In the end, North Carolina doesn't get a final shot. They tried to get it to Todd Williams. It was going to take a miracle heave from there. And Greg, offensively and defensively, gets in there making plays on both ends, and Kenny Brooks can crack a smile and they can celebrate here with the fans at Cassell Coliseum.
Well, what did Kenny say to us today? At 6 o'clock, a team's going to walk off this court feeling really bad about the week they just had. And then I interrupted him, it's going to be a happy new year for the other team. And he said, absolutely. I think Kenny Brooks and his team are going to celebrate the happy new year here this afternoon.
Kelly Amore watched her daughter come through with the free throws. With the game on the line, she finishes with 24 points to lead all scores. Amore fouled shooting a three-pointer with 1.8 seconds to go in a tie game. Virginia Tech picks up the win. They're now 2-2 in the ACC. North Carolina suffers their second loss in as many ACC games. They've lost 3 in a row overall. And Georgia, I think you can hear us. Okay, great. Georgia, congratulations. Take a deep breath and just take us through. It just seemed like there was a late season intensity in this game against North Carolina. Was that the feeling for you in this game here today?
Yeah, we knew North Carolina were going to come out strong, and it's always a great matchup between us two. And before the game, Coach Brooks told us, obviously us and UNC had pretty tough losses leading up to this. He said one of the teams is going to come out a bad week, and one of the team is going to be one that bounces back. So we wanted to be the one that bounces back.
Georgia, can you walk us through the last play where you drew the foul? It looked like you just had to create.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty known for a step back, side step, so I knew they were going to buy it, so I kind of hesitated a bit, waited to shoot in the air, and tried to draw. I mean, we were a draw, so if they called it, they called it. If they didn't, we would have been in overtime.
Well, Georgia, I don't know if you can work it out for your mom to stay in the States a little longer, but she's checking her heart rate right now. We've got a shot her in the stands. What does it mean to have a game like this with your teammates? You score 24 points, you win, and Mom's taking high fives and hugs from everybody in the building right now.
Yeah, we really needed it, so we all needed to step up, and just thankful that my mum was there to watch it in person and not at 4 a.m. on YouTube.
Well, she saw a great show today. Georgia, congratulations on the win. Happy New Year to you and your teammates after a victory here today.
Thank you, you too.
So Georgia and Kelly will celebrate today after the victory. 24 points, those 3 free throws at the end. And Virginia Tech takes the victory in this top 25 showdown, 68-65 the final. For Kristen Thomas-Fetty and our crew here in Blacksburg, I'm Eric Freed. Happy New Year.